Hello, Yva here with yvaloveearts, and today I'll be showing you cards 6, 7, and 8 in the Index Card a Day Challenge. So I'm just beginning this first one with some Dylusions paint, and I'm not sure which colors I use now. I think it was the Calypso Teal and the Cherry Cobbler though, and so it mixes together to make a nice purple color. And then I'm just picking up some of that excess paint on one of the other cards that I'll be doing. So next I will add some texture with my favorite mark making tool, some bubble wrap, and some white paint. And give that a quick dry. And then I'll decide what to do next. And after looking at it, I decided it looked like an alien landscape. So I'm going to take my Stabilo All Pencil and draw in a cute little alien. Activated that ink with a waterbrush, and now I'm going in with some gesso to paint in and get a nice base for the color that I'll be adding to my little alien. And I'm not really sure why I bothered to draw in any facial features, since it just kind of got lost with the gesso. But it's okay, I'll go back in after a coat or two and draw those back in. Now, as I often do, I poured out way too much gesso, so I'm taking this brush and putting some texture on another card that I'll be using later. And I guess the paint wasn't completely dry, because in that one eye it just lifted up when I started to draw it, so I'm going to have to go in and add some more gesso to that little area in a bit. And next I'm using some Inktense Pencils to color in this little alien being. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy. I think maybe it's a girl. I gave her a purple shirt anyway. So, and some kind of pinkish lips. She's pretty cute, I think. Definitely different. Oh, and she's gotta have blue jeans, it looks like, because you know, aliens dress in American type clothing, or just human type clothing. Not sure that you can tell those clothes are actually American. Okay, so I'm just adding some more color to the face and trying to get some shading around the edges and just give it a little more depth. So adding some blue and just playing really. So at this point I've decided on a quote or sentiment that I'm going to write on here. And oops, I misspelled weird. But I do spell it correctly on the second attempt down below. And it's not even something that I realized until later, because here I am going and darkening up those lines. So yeah, it's weird not to be weird is what it says, which I think is completely true and fitting for this little alien who's out of this world. Ha ha ha. Okay, so I'm taking this paper, scrap paper that was like cleanup paper or something, had some paint on it, painty paper, and I'm cutting out some letters to spell the second weird. I'm just doing this freehand, and then pretty soon I'll realize my mistake on that and first weird, and I'll go in and fix it. So exciting stuff. Just sticking it down with some Aleene's tacky glue, and I'll probably want to outline it because I often do. Yep, so that's my Fude Ball 1.5 pen that I'm using to outline the letters, help them stand out from the background more since they are using a lot of the same colors. And of course I need to edge it, so I'm taking my black Memento, Tuxedo Black, I think it is, Memento ink, and edging it and giving it a quick dry. And I'm just taking a look at it, and oh, that's cute, and then oh no, well, oopsie. So I'm gonna take some gesso, which is the wonderful thing about acrylic paint, is that you can just paint right over it. Oh, and ink. So yeah, just gonna fix my oopsie, no biggie. Better, so give it a quick dry, and then I decide to use my white jelly roll pen to help that first word stick out a little better. So it says, "It's weird not to be weird," and that's card number 6. So now I will move on to card 7, and this was also a cleanup paper that I used, and just kind of flattening it out and adding some white over just some areas that I thought were kind of yucky. And then I'll grab this stencil and that Calypso teal again, and a makeup sponge, and then I'll also grab the lemon zest and fill in the middle part. And then I'll just use some of that excess for the edges, and then also to rub over that textured card that I had made earlier with the excess gesso, and gonna stick this cute little cow on there with some Mod Podge. So cute. And give it a quick dry. And then cut off any excess, and this is where I will draw in some wavy lines to write in, or to use as a guide so that I can write in my lyrics. Something in the way she moves. You know the song. Something in the way she moves attracts me like no other lover. This song was stuck in my head for days after I made this card. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cute. And then I just go over the letters one more time so I can thicken them up, and then I'll be done. She's pretty cute. Or he. Is it the boy looking out at the girl, or is this the girl? I don't know. You decide. Okay, so yeah, just thickening up those lines. You don't need to see all of this, so I'm gonna cut that out. And voila, or voila, yes, it's done. And oh, of course I need to edge it, so I'll just go ahead and do that real quick, and then I will be done with card number 7. So cute. And now we're moving on to card number 8. And just looking at this one, I could see the faint lines of this landscape, and I saw a little house, and I saw a river or water, whatever, going through, and I just started to draw this in. I saw some clouds there, and this is an elegant writer pen, so I'll be able to go over it with water and it'll bleed just a little bit and cause an interesting effect. So there I am taking my water barrel brush and going over this little house and tree and clouds and water, and you know, I'm not impressed, but I'm gonna keep working on it. And I'm just adding in some brown oxide transparent golden high flow acrylic paint, and then I think I don't remember which blue this was, but it's also the high flow. I think it was the cerulean blue for the water, and just add in a little white so that I could lighten it up for the sky, and also just using some water to do that, and then clean that up with another card. I added some white to the clouds, but I honestly couldn't tell a difference, really. I don't think that it did much. And then just adding a little bit of white to the water, and I'm not sure if it did much there either, but you know, it's okay. Added another color, I think it was burnt sienna for the house, and some sap green, or was it green gold? Green gold to the tree. And I'm not loving this. I feel like it needs something else. So I'm thinking, and then I decide to grab a stencil with a little birdie. So I'll just take some black paint and a makeup sponge and put this little birdie and branches in the foreground, and that will allow the landscape to just become a pretty little background, which I'm much more okay with. And then I'll grab my brush and just make some little improvements or fixes here and there that I think it needs, and give it a quick dry. And then I just think it needs something more. I mean, it's in the foreground, it's right there. It really was screaming for some detail. So I grabbed my white jelly roll pen and decided to draw in some details for these leaves and branches and this bird. And I really think it made all the difference. And after this, I was pleased with it. Now this was hard right here. I was, you know, struggling with, do I add more or not? And eventually I decide to add a little more detail to the bird after I've edged. Of course I have to edge all these cards. And I'm like, is it enough? It's so scary at this point because you don't want to mess up what you've got, but you know, I just decided to go for it and added a little more detail to the feathers on the breast and also some little markings on the head and fixed the eye a little more, and then I added some more feathers to the wings, and then I was done, and I think I found the right balance. So I hope you enjoyed this. I had a great time making these cards, and feel free to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and leave any comments below, and thanks so much. I'll see you next time.